Hi, I'm Roy from Roy's Garage. Today I'm going to be working on a 2019 Toyota Sienna van. I'm going to show you how to replace the driver front, the left front power window motor. These are the tools I'm going to be using today to do this job. 3 different type of door panel removers: Phillips screwdriver, flat tip screwdriver, 1/4-inch ratchet, another 1/4-inch ratchet, 1/4-inch extension, 10mm socket, T25 Torx bit, dielectric grease, some spray lubricant, silicone spray, some spray adhesive, white grease, and this vise. This is the part I'm going to be using today to do this job. This is a driver's side left front power window motor. I ended up buying this one from the dealer. So we're going to be removing the door panel, but first we're going to be removing this plastic piece. Just pop it out. Removing this plastic piece. And remove this screw. So we're gonna be popping out the master switch. Okay, so we're gonna be disconnecting the electrical wires. Okay, we're gonna be removing this screw. First, we're gonna have to remove that screw. Okay, so we're gonna be prying out the panel. Disconnecting these cables. So we're gonna have to be removing this plastic. So now I'm going to be removing the speaker. So I'm going to be disconnecting this speaker wire. Okay, so we're going to be, there's 4 bolts that hold the speaker on. Okay, so now I'm gonna be disconnecting the glass from the window regulator. So there's 1 bolt here and 1 bolt there. So we're gonna be lifting this glass up. So I pulled the glass up, and it seems like the track over here is pretty tight. It's actually holding the glass up. If the glass falls down, then somehow you're gonna have to maybe like tape it up or have somebody else help you hold the glass up. So we're gonna be disconnecting this electrical that goes to the motor. So we're gonna be removing the window regulator. So you got one bolt here. On this one, just loosen it. Don't take it off all the way. So I'm going to be removing the window regulator. So I'm going to be lifting it up, and then this bolt is going to go through the big hole. Now you can pull it out. Okay, so I'm going to be loosening up these 3 bolts that bolt the motor to the regulator. I'm going to be using a Torx T25 just to loosen it up. So now I'm going to be clamping this regulator assembly into the vise. So I clamp this in the vise, so when I take this motor off, this arm will not go down, because this thing is actually spring loaded, if you can see. Okay, I got some white grease with an acid brush. I'm just going to be greasing up the gears. So we're going to be putting the motor on. So before we put this regulator assembly on, let's go just lubricate the gears, the track, everything. Just lubricate it before we put them on. Okay, now with my spray lubricant, just spray it right in here. So I'm going to be putting in my regulator. So we're going to be lining up this bolt with that hole and hooking it on. So now we're going to be lining up all the bolts. So before I lower the window, I'm going to be using some silicone spray. I'm going to be shooting it in the window track. It's a lubricant, very good lubricant. Just load it up. And then do it same to the other side. Just do the best you can. Okay, so now we're going to lower the glass. Okay, we're going to be connecting it to the regulator. So I'm going to be connecting my electrical wire to the motor, but first I'm going to be putting on some dielectric grease and stick it in. Okay, so now before we do anything else, let's see if this thing works. So we're going to be hooking up the master switch. So I turned the ignition switch to the on position. Now let's see if this window works. Okay. So what we'll do now is let's go lubricate the top part of the track. So I'm going to be removing my master switch. So I'm going to be putting back all of this plastic. So now we're going to be putting on the speaker. We're going to connect the speaker wire. I'm going to be using some spray adhesive to stick this piece on. Okay, so I'm going to be putting on the panels, but first I'm going to be putting on these cables. Now hook it right on the top of the door, push it down and snap it in. I'm going to be putting this screw on. Okay, I'm going to be putting on my master switch, but before we put it on, putting some dielectric grease into the connectors. So we're going to be just pushing it in, putting this plastic piece in. And that's it. So that's how you replace a power window motor. If you have any questions, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I see you in the next video. Aloha.